All right, what's good? What's good? What's good? Let's talk this boxing again, man. Hope everything is well with everybody today. I'm sure we'll let people creep on in here slowly. What's good? Make sure you guys smash the like button on the way in. What's going on, Tyrone? So salute to the chat and brother Fannon for always bringing the real boxing news. And Steve J, what's good with you, man? Well, we'll chop it up, man. We'll keep talking about this boxing until boxing gets rolling again. We'll wait for about 100 people to come in before we really start going. But we definitely going to talk about man something really interesting, man, with the welterweight division and Errol Spence Jr., Danny Garcia, Terence Crawford, and Jose Ramirez. I really think that I do think a fight between Terence Crawford and Jose Ramirez is going to happen, man. What's going on, Chris Brown, 45? What's good? Bert from Mardican, peace to you, man. What's good with you, sir? Bumpy Thompson in the building as usual. Hold on, Bumpy Thompson. All right, now tell me that is the real Bumpy Thompson. Okay, so I was waiting for a little while. I figured the first Bumpy Thompson, I was going to wait like 2 chats for the first Bumpy Thompson to jump in, and that means I would know that that's you, and I would be able to give you your wrench back. So let's just hope that that it's not somebody that was slick enough to jump in there and the first one, man, early in the comments to impersonate you. But you got your wrench back. Daryl Lightfoot, what's good with you, man? Always, as usual, Bert from Mardican in the building. What's good? Nuke Juice in the building. One of my favorite new subscribers. Southern T Boxing, what's good? You and Southern T Boxing as well. We over there throwing that heat around over there on Twitter. Underground Asylum, what's good, man? He said Fanon the Don, salute. What's big? Salute, big bro. What's happening, man? Just working. Man, I got so much work to do, and it is a beautiful thing, dog. It is a beautiful thing. No slack. 504 said hello, Fanon from New Orleans. What's going out there? What's going on in there in New Orleans, man? God, dog, I miss New Orleans. Man, I miss New Orleans. But I think we got most of the what's up. Okay, we'll wait for 100 people to get in. I got to be a little more disciplined about that. Demetrius Anderson, so what's up, Fanon? Greetings from Beast, Texas 903. That's what's up. East Texas, is that like El Paso? No. East Texas is like Houston. Like are you guys from the Houston area? Are you from the Houston area? No slack said it's all good, brother. That's what's up, man. Yeah, I can't wait to get back to New Orleans. Look, we got 89 people in the house and only 42 likes, man. Let's try to get the likes up. Hit the like as you come on in, man. Hit the like as you come in the door. We got about 9 more people. And then we're gonna get the show a rolling. East Texas is like Texarkana. Okay, like where Texas and Arkansas come together. That's what's up. Hey, Fanon, do you think boxing should take the same approach Dana White did for the UFC to get the boxing started? No, I don't think so. Marshall, Texarkana. That's what's up. No, I don't, man. I think boxing should I think boxing should put a big pay-per-view event together. A reasonably priced but good pay-per-view. That's what I would pay for. Like if I knew that for $25 or $50 that I could get a solid fight card. Right, a solid fight card with maybe one really good fight, but some other good contending fights, dude, I would buy that. Yeah, exactly. Bert from Mark said a big ass 90s style card. Yeah, I would buy that. That's what I think would be most effective. Is you get and have it. I mean, because the fans would then take up most of the costs or a good amount of the costs, or try to at least pay enough money to make it a break even. Actually, it has to make money because a break even isn't worth it. But that's what I would say. I would like to see a real. I would like to see a really good fight, a really good pay-per-view fight card. Something kind of like, um, maybe like a God. Who would be a good like pay-per-view fight card? Like Errol Spence Jr., Danny Garcia, um, and then some real good, fights like and some really good fights on the undercard. Because I mean, the UFC had a good, isn't Masvidal a pretty well known, a pretty well known fighter in the UFC? If you had him and the African dude who was the champion, if they can do 1.3 million pay per view buys, I don't see why a good boxing card couldn't do that. C Cut said, Fannon, top ranking ESPN keeps saying boxing is back, but it is a whole lot of bullshit fights. When is PBC coming back? I think they're supposed to be coming back in August. I heard that they were going to have their first thing in August. Yeah, like Demetrius Anderson says, Errol versus Ugas. Yeah, that would be good. Or the Gervonta Davis card with Leo Santa Cruz. I'd be amped for that, man. We just got to make it a reasonably priced. You just got to make it a reasonably priced card, man. You know, somewhere in the $50 range. I'll be geeked for that, man. Drew Titan, are you still using those weights? Yeah, I'm still using those weights. Do I use them every day? Well, actually, I didn't use them yesterday, but I got them spread throughout out the house. You know, man. You know, we still. Let me see. Let me show you my guns. We still working on the gun. Absolutely. Yes, sir. All right, man. Look, we got 115 people in the building. We only got 72 likes. Let's get the likes up over 100. But we're over at 100 now, so we can get. I said, ha! Jamal Roberts said, I was with you when you said 25. Yeah, well, in order to get, the bigger the fight, the bigger, more expensive the pay-per-view. I don't think that I don't think maybe an Errol Spence Jr. pay-per-view is probably not. John Doe said Errol versus Keith. So no, like I would pay for like a Keith Thurman versus Sean Porter, right? Like that's probably good. Like Keith Thurman versus Sean Porter rematch. I would take that in a heartbeat, man. Blessings. My man Mike 202 said blessings for now in the entire LDBC. Much love in that super chat, man. Thank you so much for your support. My gong is still out of commission, but it's still much appreciated, Mike. And Georgia P says salute for 9. Thank you for keeping 100 and keeping the focus on boxing. Yeah, man, we keep it rolling. Boxing. We're gonna talk boxing till the motherfucking wheels fall off. Let me see. Somebody talking shit. What is that? Cat box? The fuck is a cat box, dog? What the fuck is a cat? What is the cat in the box about, man? Help me out, dog. What is a cat? I'm thinking maybe you're trying to insult me, but I don't know what a cat in the box is. So, at least educate me. Okay, educate me. I don't want EJ to fight Keith. I do. I'll take that. Adrian Cole said Errol Spence versus Crawford ASAP. Yes, sir. Oh, man. Did you see? Dude, man, I think Bud missed an opportunity, man. Nah, that troll from last week did the same thing. Yeah, I don't know what that is, man. Just go ahead and shoot him. Go ahead and pop two to the dome, dog. 2 to the dome. Michael A. Madsen, Fannon, Keith Thurman, is he healthy and who is he going to fight next? I can't speak on whether or not Keith Thurman is healthy or not. Keith Thurman, by his own admission, said that he wasn't all the way back or all the way healthy for the Manny Pacquiao fight. So I'll take his word. I'll take him at his word. I don't think that he is all the way back to, to where he can be. Do you know what I mean? I don't think he's back to where he can be. I think maybe after you sit out 2 years and you have those type of injuries, man, it might take you three fights to get back to where you want to get. So, I'm looking for big things out of Keith Thurman, man. I'm pro Keith Thurman, okay? I know a lot of people jumped off the bandwagon. I jumped off the bandwagon, but I'm hopping back on the bandwagon just for the sake of trying to even out the playing field in the comment section. Fannon, have you heard of somebody, this guy's talking stuff? I don't give a fuck. No, I don't know who he is. I don't know who he is. Don't give a fuck about him. Jay Good in the building. Much love in that super chat. Thank you. Let me give them applause, man. And BFTB Boxing in the building. That is the dude right there. How can I get my man's name up on the screen? Where'd it go? This one is behind. Okay, that's BFTB. Did he say to go? Where I miss BFT? I want to put BFTB back on the screen. Fannon, who you got? Thurman versus. Oh, who do I got in Thurman versus Crawford? Oh, I got Crawford. I ain't say I'm picking. I didn't say now. Now look, while I'm trying to what King Vonnie get put out of here for? Oh man, no slack 504. Much love in that super chat. Thank you so much for your support. He said, "This is my first time seeing you live. I always like your videos." Thank you, man. Hey, I appreciate that, man, because the videos are the main thing on the channel. That's the videos in the channel that's the bread and butter of the channel, man. So it's good to see. It's good to see no slack at the live stream, man. And Sweet Science Examiner, much love for joining. Thank you so much for joining the channel as a member. It is greatly, greatly appreciated. Southern T Boxing said Thurman is done, OG. I'd still pay to see him fight, but he won rib shot from retirement. Hey, look, man, I'm wishing for the best for him, man. I'm wishing for the belt. Look, man, we got 233 people in the building. Let's get the likes up over 200. Let's try to keep pace. But look, back to the dude that asked me about somebody named who? What is this shit? What was this dude's name? Edmund Miller was timed out. Where did this shit go? King Vonnie. Damn, I was going to respond. I can't remember. I don't know where that chat went. But whoever that dude is, I don't know. He can stick a dick up till he hiccup, man. That's my take. Young Merv the Cut Man says, salute for nine, long live BFTB, LDBC, my brother's keeper all day, man. Dog, BFTB's the man, man. Fuck all that dumb shit. Ain't tearing nobody down, dog. Ain't tearing nobody down. DOG, what is that? Oh, my bad, what? Oh, Ramirez versus Brunner. Oh, Ramirez. Jose Ramirez. I think, hey, man, Jose Ramirez is a good fighter, man. That dude's about to do some shit. But, however, I will tell you, though, he's going to get that ass whooped. He's going to get that ass whooped by Bud, because Bud already said he's going to destroy Jose Ramirez. Because Jose Ramirez was talking, he's talking a little loose about Bud, saying, don't judge me, don't judge me based on what I am at 140. Judge me about what I'll be at 147. And he thinks he's going to be a lot bigger, a lot stronger at 147. I do see that fight popping off. I do see a fight between Jose Ramirez and Terence Crawford popping off. Oh, what? Hey, Daryl Lifer said, what opportunity did Crawford miss out on? Dog, he should have taken he should have taken a fight. Well, I can't say what he should have. This is what I would have tried to do. It's in Bud's, or at least consider doing with Bud. What's his name? When Bob Arum said that he would fight, that he wanted Bud and guys to fight, to take pay cuts to fight, and Bud was like, no, I'm not taking anything below my minimum to fight. Well, Bob Arum came out after that and said fighters like Terence Crawford, and I have to believe he also means Tyson Fury and like and maybe Jose Ramirez, Vasily Lomachenko, guys like that he will not make them fight for less than the minimum. What I'm saying is under Bud's circumstance, he might have been smart saying, yeah, I'll fight one fight for less than the minimum. Yeah, I'll fight for less than the minimum. Give me some bum I can walk through, and I'll fight for less than I'll fight for less than my minimum, in exchange for you reducing the length of this contract in half. If you take 3 years off of, or 2 years off of, or some significant amount of time off of this contract, I'll take it. Or if you give me, or better yet, in exchange for that, give me the ability to if somebody else wants me to fight for them, if they can give me an offer, and you have the first right to match it. You have the right to make me an offer, and you got the right to match any offer or beat any offer that I give. That would mean that he could go and fight over there for the PBC on a fight-by-fight basis. Said Aaron would never go for that. In exchange for you cutting me down to the minimum, sounds like a good deal to me. Sounds like it could work for both of us. You know? C-Cut for 9. Oh, C-Cut asked that question about the dude talking. Who the fuck was that dude that did that shit? For 9, do you think these big punches at welterweight will hurt Crawford because he got hurt in the smaller weight classes and he got hurt against Green Machine? If he gets clipped, he could. No doubt about it. If he gets clipped, he could. But that's a big order to clip Bud. Because he got clipped by Green Machine. Then he proceeded to beat the piss out of a Green Machine. You know. So I do believe that it can affect him. Like I believe though that would probably be a bigger problem for Bud at 154. You know, like I think that with the exception of maybe Danny Garcia, like Danny Garcia could probably. I would be worried about Bud catching one of them hooks from like Danny Garcia. I think everybody else at the welterweight class, I'm not really too worried about them just catching him with one shot and having him go. But I do think that would be a problem for him. Say if he was going to fight, at like 154 against a Jared Hurd, or fighting at 154 maybe against a Jason Rosario or somebody like that, because those guys have a little more. They got a little more meat on them shots at 154, but at 147, I'm not really concerned too much. To tell you the truth, I'm not really concerned about Bud's chin, man. Although, I mean, no more than I am with anybody else. But welterweight's a class where, there's not a lot of guys out there who just have one punch, knock you out type of power. And Bud doesn't have a problem with body shots like Keith Thurman does. So nah, man, I think Bud is I think Bud beats everybody in 147 with the possible exception, of Errol Spence Jr. and the possible exception of Sean Porter. Even Ugas, I think he's going to beat Ugas. Because he might have, I've definitely seen him wobble, but dog, you gotta get there. You know what I'm saying? You gotta actually hit him with that shit. And he's got some other shit coming back at you. Do you think EJ will stop Bud? Depends on how Bud fights. If Bud goes crazy, yeah, I think he can get stopped. I think it could happen, but the safest bet with any of these guys is a decision. Damon Wester said, for now, what's your opinion of J-Rod going up to 160? Is he ready for the bigger guys in that division? Yeah, he'd be smarter to move up to 160. He got to get the fuck out of 154. 154. What's going on, man? What's going on, Harold? I think 154 is deeper than 160. I think J-Rock might be it because, I mean, with Jermell, Rosario, Hurd, there's so much parity there. And 160, I don't know, actually. Because I think he's going to get knocked out by Jermall Charlo. I definitely don't think he can beat Canelo. GGG, dude, that's a bad. Gennady Golovkin's a bad fight for him. And Demetrius Andrade, he might be able to do a little something with Demetrius Andrade. Because Demetrius Andrade is not just some hella big puncher. But I think Demetrius Andrade will beat him too. I don't know. I'm a little wary of J-Rock because he's got knocked out twice. So yeah, I'm kind of stuck in between. But yeah, tunnel vision, you're probably right. Probably stay at 154. But even then, maybe he needs to stay there until some of those guys leave, and then maybe the 154 guys, the 147 guys come back up to come to 150. I mean, the 147 guys come up to 154. God dang, why am I getting all these fucking texts? Yeah. Sorry about that. Had a guy got caught in some other stuff. What's your opinion of promoter 599? Jose Ramirez's manager. I don't know who promoter 559 is. And Jose Ramirez's manager. I mean, dude, Jose Ramirez. I can only judge Jose Ramirez's manager by what has happened in Jose Ramirez's career. And so it's all good there. You know what I mean? He's defended, but I can't say that I know that particular guy by name. But I think Jose Ramirez is having an excellent career. He's been put in very good positions, and he's an excellent fighter. I think J-Rock would be a beast at 147. Yeah, but unless he probably can't make 147. Because 7 pounds, that's going to make his chin even more suspect. Jaime Munguia is going to get his ass whooped by Demetrius Andrade. That's not even a close fight. Demetrius Andrade will humiliate Jaime Munguia in a 12-round to nothing shutout. Those are two different level of fighters, man. Daryl Lightfoot, Fannon, could a Bud versus Charlo fight at 154 happen? And who you got? Oh, no, it cannot happen. No. They would be throwing away Terence Crawford on that fight. Jermell Charlo is going to beat Jermell Charlo. No, he cannot beat Jermell Charlo. No, he cannot beat Jermell Charlo. That's an ass whooping. That's an ass whooping. Okay, that's what I think. Too big, too mean, too big, too versatile, too mean. I think Bud might be the better fighter by a little bit, because you got to understand, I think very, 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 very highly of Jermell Charlo. Jermell Charlo, the underrated fighters in boxing, for me, are guys like Gervonta Tank Davis, who somehow, some way is not in anybody's top 10 pound for pound. I don't understand that. Jermell Charlo, who is proven, to me, is already proven he's the top guy at 147 pounds. I mean, who could it be? Jared Hurd got beat by J-Rock. J-Rock got beat by his brother and by Jason Rosario. Jason Rosario got knocked out by Nathaniel Gallimore. Who besides Jermell Charlo can be the best at 154 pounds? And he's every bit as good a fighter as the top 147 pound fighters in a pound for pound sense, right? He's every bit as good pound for pound as Monster Inoue or Estrada or Gennady Golovkin. Dude, those guys deserve to be up there, man. And because Jermell is a beast, and he's proven he's a beast at 154, even his get back fight, because the one fight the one loss he has in his career, he knocked the guy out. He knocked the guy out coming back. Percival Max said Tank is my number one from 130 to 140 in my opinion. Yeah, number one or number two behind Lomachenko from 130 to 140. I think that's fair, but I would probably give the advantage to Lomachenko. No, I mean, no, I don't. Because his ass is sitting on an L too. You know? But I think that's out to be. I do think that the top guy in those weight classes, that has to be played out different. Jupiter B said Gallimore TKO Rosario. Banana had a lot of heart trying to continue, but it was a good stoppage. Yeah, and he clipped him. Just got him on funny street. Tank too small for 140. It depends on the guys fighting in 140. I think that depends on the guys at 140. But guys like Baranachek, guys like Kylie Relic, Baranachek, Emir Imam. I mean, maybe I think he'd get it, Emir Imam. You know, I think Regis Prograis would be a really tough fight, man. Hey man, look, we got 300 people in the building. We only got 156 likes. Man, let's try to get the likes over 300, man. If you're gonna be here, either like, dislike, do something. But give some type of engagement. Lubin would be a tough, yeah, all those guys would be a tough matchup. He probably should be at 154. I mean, 154 and 147 and 154 is hot. It's hot. And you can't hide from no Negroes. And it's a no hide. Those are two you can't hide divisions. You can't hide in 147. You can't hide in 154. There's too many good fighters at those weight divisions to be able to hide. Yeah, see, Cut said, did you hear Oscar De La Hoya call? Let me ask you a question. Let me answer your question, C Cut, about that fanboy shit. First, man, if I do video, anybody that would say that I'm a fanboy, Justin State to get my cash said you missed my super chat from earlier. I'm sorry. Justin State to get my cash. Do you think Al Heyman or Dana White should buy Top Rank? I would think that the PBC would probably be able to do the most with Top Rank. I do believe that they would. Dana White, I don't know. If he bought them, they'd still be in the same problem that they were in before, because they can't. Dana White cannot operate this in the same fashion in boxing as he does in the UFC, because the Muhammad Ali Act does not, as of yet, apply to the UFC. Although there's people out there that are saying that it should. So obviously the PBC would be in a better position to take top ranked fighters and integrate those guys into their stable of fighters. And I think that would be absolutely wonderful for boxing. I think that you could, because if nothing else, because it makes it more likely that you can get top fights. I would really just like for the PBC to buy a couple, like to make a trade. You know what I mean? Like if the PBC could trade, let's see, like trade Chris Colbert for Terence Crawford, I would take that deal, because Chris Colbert would probably have more fights available to him if he was with Top Rank, and he's a type of guy that can be just as big a star for Top Rank as Terence Crawford. He's got that level of talent. And in exchange, and they've got plenty of people for Chris Colbert to fight in those weight classes, because that's where Top Rank is very heavy. So, and the same thing will go for Terence Crawford. You know, if these promotional companies could agree with themselves to have fighters within certain weight classes sign with promotional companies that can actually get them fights, I think that would be great. But as far as who buys them, really, I think they should just wait for them. Eventually, dude, they're gonna probably, it'll be interesting what happens after Bob Arum is no longer involved, because then I think you got a real chance. What do I think about Gabriel Flores Jr., who signed with Top Rank? I think he's okay. I haven't seen anything particularly. They're good fighters. I don't think there's nothing really standing out that's telling me that he is super exceptional. Hold on a second. Yeah. So anyway, that's my take on it. Let me come over here and make sure I ain't missing nothing. Yes, sir. Go down to the end. Haney going to beat everybody at 135. Mark my words. Nah, he can't, because he's not going to stay there that long. Even though people are really they're very high on him, though. Fannon, do you think Canelo was calling out Charlo and 154 to motivate Canelo to fight the best and stuff? Oh, do you think that Oscar is calling out Charlo and 154 to motivate Canelo to fight the best and stop ducking? Great question. Great. Yeah, I got you, Daryl. I can put two and two together, man. Absolutely great question. I don't know, but I hope so. I don't know, but I hope, but I would like to think that that could be the case because Oscar De La Hoya did fight everybody. Oscar De La Hoya didn't have any of that in him. He fought everybody. He fought with the exception, not everybody. Clearly, he didn't fight Winky Wright. He didn't fight Paul Williams. Wow. I got to turn this phone off, man. We got like the hottest chat going on in the world behind the scenes. These behind the scenes chats. Yeah, dude having a hard time, dog. Yeah, he didn't fight. Yeah, not Winky, right? Obviously, he didn't fight Winky. But I mean, he's a very solid fighter. He was never one of these guys that you didn't think would take a fight. And he fought people like Shane Mosley more than one time. I think he's got a great resume, a great track record. Canelo Alvarez is doing some old Hollywood shit right now, which is a shame because, yeah, just like Bert from Artican said, the problem with Canelo, guaranteed money, set for life right now. Yeah, he definitely is. He definitely is set for, provided he ain't just on some real stupid shit. He should be set for life for sure. Terence Chavis, what's good with you, man? He said, I'm late, but I'm here. What's up? Oh, I'm good, man. I'm good. Just talking boxing with everybody, enjoying a great Monday on a day that I've got a lot of work to do. I got a new customer that's paying your boy some good money. So I got to invest a little bit of time towards a project today. Do people price themselves out? What's gonna happen for Canelo fight, Charlo, Deverenchenko, etc.? Do people price themselves out? Doug, I don't know if people price themselves out. People want to get paid fairly when there's a bunch of money on the table. It doesn't do. Why would it? I mean, if you're working your career. What's going on, Kansas City, Mac? If you for 5 more years. Here's the thing, man. If you really work in order to get yourself a shot, against in a big money fight, right? You're working towards getting a big money fight. Then you get to the big money fight, and they want to make the big funny fight, your big money fight, a small money fight. Then people might say, no, I'm not going to do it. I'll go fight somebody else that I might not get as much money, but at least I still have myself in line to get a mega fight. But if you jump in there and you fight a guy like Canelo and you lose, then you may never get another opportunity at a big payday again. So it's a tough scenario. When you're the cash cow, dog, you got to pay up for people to fight you. It works both ways. You know what I mean? You shouldn't be the only one getting a career high payday. Like you're going to go fight Canelo Alvarez and make the same amount of money that you would make for fighting Demetrius Andrade? You know what I mean? Shit, at least if you go fight Demetrius Andrade and you win, you know what I'm saying? There's a chance you can get a Canelo fight still, and maybe the price will go up. But you fight Canelo and lose, you may not get a Demetrius Andrade fight. I don't know, man. Those are tough decision-making processes, man. It's a tough decision-making process. Canelo uses that as an excuse. Never heard of a cash cow crying about paying opponents. Nah, that's the zone that ain't trying to pay somebody because it's all guaranteed money, and the zone can't throw that money around like they were throwing it around. They can't throw that money, or they don't got no subscribers. They got no subscribers. Dude, Canelo needs to get the fuck up off of the zone. Like 25 million, but see, that shit was always bad for boxing, man. Paying a guy $35 million, no matter who he's gonna fight, for 10 fights. The whole thing points to will lead you to think, oh, you're just gonna take a bunch of fights you can win so you can get through to the 10th fight. But then he's got to go back outside. Bad contract in pandemic equals Horrible opponents. Yeah, he's going to have a horrible. Dude, he's looking at fighting John Ryder, man. Although I do believe John Ryder is just as good as the WBA 168-pound champion, Callum Smith, because I think he beat Callum Smith. How many more fights does Canelo have on the zone? It's good question. Who's he fought? He might have 6 left. He's got at least 6 left. Because I don't think he's fought more than 4. He fought Sergey Kovalev. He fought Rocky Fielding. He fought Daniel Jacobs. And he fought who was the last other guy he fought? Maybe he only fought 3. Maybe he's got 7 fights left. Daniel Jacobs, Rocky Fielding, Sergey Kovalev, Saul Canelo Alvarez. Let's see. Who are the last 3 people he fought? Yeah, that's it. 3. He's got 7 more. Kovalev, Daniel Jacobs, and Rocky Fielding. Before that, that was Gennady Golovkin, and the Gennady Golovkin fight was on, I do believe that was on HBO, right? Yeah, I do believe that one was on HBO. So if it's 11, no, I thought it was 35 times, I thought it was 10. 35 times 10 was 350 million. At least that's how I kept track of it. Oh, said Fannon, Fielding didn't count towards the 10-fight deal. Got 15 million for that. Oh, no. It should count towards the deal. It just means that he's going to make more than $35 million in another fight. You know what I mean? It could mean a lot of things, actually. You just have to see the contract, man. Said it's gonna be a long 7 fights. Dog, he ain't going 7 fights. He about to miss a year. He about to miss a year. They retired Canelo off that, man. That's some old desperation dumb shit they did with that, man. Terrible, terrible, terrible. No black fighter can beat Canelo right now. Elbow cough. What do you mean? There's plenty of black fighters that'll beat Canelo Alvarez. Plenty of them. Plenty. What's going on, Hubble Telescope? Hope Canelo fight Beterbiev so he can get washed? Yeah, pretty much. I'll tell you who I think can beat a bunch of black fighters I think can beat Canelo. Be good fights too. Good fight for Canelo. I think Andrade can beat Canelo. I think Jamal Charlo can beat Canelo. And then everybody above 100, every fighter above 175 pounds. Let's name them. Yeah, I mean, the people that I think can beat Canelo are the 2 prime candidates for me are Demetrius Andrade and Jamal Charlo. I think that Demetrius Andrade is probably the worst matchup for Canelo Alvarez. And I think that I think Demetrius Andrade beats Canelo going away. That'd be a very, very hard fight for Canelo. And a fight that Canelo, and I guarantee you a fight Canelo ain't even thinking about taking. Yeah, hey, Fannon, he's right because he won't fight black fighters. Yeah, now he won't. But that type of fighter, a thinking fighter, a fighter that can out. So you saying KO? I think Canelo go to distance. I just think Demetrius Andrade will beat him in a decision. I think he'll beat him on a decision. Dude, man, Demetrius Andrade is a very smart fighter, very slick fighter. It's going to be a thinking game. And Demetrius Andrade can think with them. And I wouldn't be surprised if Demetrius Andre couldn't outthink him. And that southpaw stance, and the fact that he moves so well, and I think he's also a bigger guy. I like to see Ryan and Devin Haney go at it, man. Devin Haney beat the piss out of Ryan Garcia, I do believe. Quay Bird says, no way. No way what? Hey, look, we got 367 people in the building. We got 224 likes, man. Let's see if we can get the like. If you've not hit the like button or hit the dislike button, but I'd appreciate if you hit the like button and let the numbers in the likes match the viewers. Yeah, both Charlos will be a tough fight for him. Both fighters will be, and because when you're smaller, you also have speed. You have a speed is an issue. Sir, if you're black but you're not a boxer, Canelo Alvarez will, I would advise against fighting Canelo Alvarez. Ward would demolish Canelo. Yeah, but what's good, Ragnu? Yeah, I mean, if you want to talk about the guys who are like at 175 pounds, shit, I think Marcus Brown will beat Canelo. Provided he don't get clipped. Marcus Brown might be able to beat Canelo. Jean Pascal might be able to beat Canelo at 175. Especially if Canelo has to fight clean. But you know, I'm not a big believer that Canelo Alvarez fights clean. Damon Wester, Boo is a great name for Andrade because don't nobody want to step in his haunted house, meaning that ring. Nah, people don't really want to fight him, man. Yeah, it said Marcus Brown might KO Canelo. Yeah, if Marcus Brown learns from the lessons that he had when he fought, that he should have learned when he fought Jean Pascal, absolutely. And he doesn't keep getting hit with the same punch over and over again. Marcus Brown could probably beat Canelo at 175. Terence Chavis, Canelo, the ginger ped man, ain't going to be clean for nah, he ain't going to be clean. No, I don't believe that, which is so disappointing because I don't think anybody's disappointed me as much as, God dog, as much as Canelo. I was big on Canelo, man. This Kovalev fight was a dive. Could have been. It looked funny. It did look real suspect. Looked very, very suspect. Pascal's not beating Canelo. He could. I think he has a chance. At 175, he's fighting at 175, ain't he? Dude, I don't believe it. I don't believe Canelo's a 175 pounder, dude. I don't believe it. And Jean Pascal's not going to be right there to be hit. John Pascal has much better footwork and much better movement than Kovalev is. And I don't doubt it because Canelo got the fuck out that weight division really fast, dude. He got out that fight really fast and got out of that weight class fast. And if you didn't notice, Canelo got rocked something nasty by Kovalev. But Kovalev didn't even try to finish him. Man, I ain't no guarantee Canelo Alvarez is gonna take a big punch in light heavyweight, especially when it's young and mobile. Because Canelo Alvarez is not that mobile. He has exceptional upper body movement, but he's not that mobile. Yeah, man, we got 370 people in the building, 255 likes, man. Let's try to get the likes up, sir. Jack could beat Canelo. Yeah, I would think so. I mean, Badu Jack? Yeah, that'd be a good fight, but Badu Jack but he wouldn't get the decision. But I would take Badu Jack over Daniel Jacobs. I'd take Badu Jack over Gennady Golovkin. I probably would take Badu Jack over Canelo. Be a good fight, but yeah, at 175, those guys are way bigger than Canelo. He's got guys at 160, and we're just talking about black fighters. Because I mean, at 175, the obvious cat Canelo ain't beaten is Beterbiev. I just want to wait around just in case people didn't catch that first part of the conversation. They were acting about black fighters that can beat Canelo. So I just named a bunch of black fighters that can beat Canelo at the weight classes that he has faced people at. Yeah, Badu Jack's face healed up. His face was healed up. He's had a fight since he had his face opened half up, I do believe. Canelo versus Spence at 160. I really can't say because I got to see Canelo. I got to see Spence above 154. I got to see him above 147. I suspect that he'll be very strong at 154 or stronger at 154. But 160, I can't tell you whether he's got the size to go all the way up to 160 efficiently. I'd have to see it. Jared Hurd could beat Canelo. I think that would be tough because I think that Jared Hurd can get outboxed. And I don't think you want to walk straight to Canelo like that because Canelo can't crack. Even Bevel, I think, would beat Canelo. Yeah, that would be a yeah. But see, Canelo's a 160 pounder. It's like, if he was fighting at 160, then he's got a chance to beat everybody at 160. But I think his hardest fighting 160 is Andrade. Because that's who's shown to give him the most problems, other than the fight he lost, which is Floyd. And then that's another thing. That's why I'm like, dude, Floyd beat him way too easy. Way too easy, dude. Big Charlo stops Canelo. I'd love to see the fight, but he'll never fight him. Ringside boxing. Dang, y'all saying everybody can beat everybody. Nobody said that. We're just talking about who has the potential to beat Canelo. When is Canelo announcing his next fight? I have no idea. No idea. I don't know if they're going to be able to, if he's going to fight this year. The reason why Canelo is undefeated is because of Oscar and his team are protected. Canelo's not undefeated. Brandon Gaines. Canelo's not. You just pulled a Lomachenko. Canelo is not undefeated. Canelo is taking an L to Floyd Mayweather Jr. Just like Vasily Lomachenko was not undefeated. He took an L to Eric. He took a loss to Orlando Salido. Nah, Canelo ain't undefeated. But the reason he ain't lost lately is because as soon as he made enough money as soon as he got in a big enough fight where they thought this can be the cash guy, they started protecting him and bending all kind of rules and writing rules and doing all kind of other stuff to keep him in that position. Because if Canelo loses, who's going to be their cash cow? They don't have one. They would have to start dealing with Errol Spence. They might have to start dealing with some black fighters and giving those dudes respect. Ringside boxing, you ain't moved quick enough, was that? Yeah, Canelo's protected ever since he lost to Mayweather. Yeah, absolutely. Protected like with an army. The WBC is the biggest Captain Save a Canelo for sure. He said, this is the second fight I'm not buying. Grace Terrell, this is the second fight I will not be buying from Canelo in a row. Well, yeah. No, I'm not going to see it because I'm not signed back up for the zone. For that fight? Oh, hell no. You ain't getting me like that, dude. I'll see it, but I'm not going to buy the zone. Ain't no way, dude. Bernard Gaines said, I'm sorry. You are absolutely right. Floyd make him look ordinary. He's a good fighter. I just think he's a hype job. Yeah, he's a very, very good fighter, man. A very good fighter. What's going on, Stephen Young? Thank you, man. We try to keep it interesting. We keep trying to chop it up. Oh, yeah, of course. Yeah, because they didn't give a unanimous decision. That was crazy how somebody tried to. What are they? Somebody marking a draw on the card or something? Man. What's going on? I am Ill Will. Said steel sharpens steel. I always thought Canelo was a hype job. I never thought that, dude. I never did. You said, oh, DAZN left me at $10 a month, so I haven't dropped it yet. I follow a few DAZN fighters still. Dude, I thought that got grandfathered in February. Have you, Main Event Mark, have you checked how much you were, have you checked? Have you checked your bank to see that they're still charging you 10? Because I thought that everybody that got the 10 were grandfathered into the new stuff after February. But if I was wrong, let me know. But still, I wasn't gonna pay. James Robert, Canelo fighting bums as usual. I mean, he's not like, he's kind of like, I mean, he does fight a lot. He has been fighting a lot of bums recently. But he did fight Daniel Jacobs, which is a good fight. So there's Gennady Golovkin. Let me see. I'll go through the last ones. Yeah, the grandfather clause only lasted a year. You say, yeah, they never changed it. Okay, yeah, keep your eyes on it though, because don't be surprised if they do. So you still pay $9.99 for DAZN? You better than me, because you ain't getting no fights. So you just donated $50, huh? If Ward came back for none, you think Canelo could beat him steroided up? No, I do not. But he would need like 3 fights. I would say Canelo has 0 footwork. That's why he avoids black slick fighters. Yeah, that would be a problem for him. But oh yeah, CJ Ross did that draw. But as far as Canelo fighting bums, I would say Kovalev is washed up, but I wouldn't say he's a bum. I think it was washed up and a trash fight that I wasn't interested in. Before that was Daniel Jacobs. I think Daniel Jacobs said, stupid tax for 9. Yeah, they get you $50. Hey, it is what it is. But I didn't like the Kovalev fight because there was better opportunities for opponents for him than Kovalev. Right, the Daniel Jacobs fight I think was good because that was a unification fight. That was a unification fight at 160. But if he wasn't going to keep the fucking belt and just got it dropped, so now the IBF, who's the IBF guy? Gennady Golovkin beat Deverenchenko in that. So in that for the vacant belt. But the Daniel Jacobs fight was good. The Rocky Fielding fight was crap. The Gennady Golovkin fights were good. The Julio Cesar Chavez Jr. fight was trash. The Amir Khan fight was trash. The what's that dude's name, man? James Kirkland fight was trash. So yeah, it's a mixed bag with him, dude. It's a mixed bag with him. He said, man, Kovalev took a dive. Well, I mean, he got his ass whooped. I can't say whether he took a dive or not. That's not on me. Bernard Gaines, do you think that it is suspect for Canelo to turn down Charlo fight twice? And Oscar saying he sent Jamal a contract, but Charlo said the contract was trash contract. I don't think that's what Charlo said. I don't think Charlo said it was a trash contract. He said that you have to send that contract to Al Heyman, and that Jamal doesn't negotiate his own fights. If Oscar De La Hoya was serious about making that fight, that they would have sent that offer to Al Heyman. But the problem, a problem with Canelo fighting PBC fighters is that Oscar De La Hoya probably doesn't want to do any business with the PBC. And matter of fact, I don't know, when was the last time that a Golden Boy fighter fought a PBC fighter? I mean, I know there's not a lot of really good Golden Boy fighters to begin with, but I'm not sure when was the last time those guys they haven't had a big fight since Canelo, since Al Heyman and those guys took everybody from Oscar De La Hoya. So Oscar De La Hoya might still have sour grapes around that. That could be a reason why they could hold up, they could hold up that fight. I don't think that's right. Steele, he said GGG actually won the first fight with Canelo without Bird refereeing. He would have been unanimous. No, that's not how that works. In order for there to be a draw, there has to be either all three guys have to have. I don't think that's the case. Because even if she didn't score it like that, that means she still could have given the fight to Canelo, even if she didn't have those wide scores. So let's see. Give me 1 second. Boot it. All right, so Adelaide Bird. No, that would have been it because Don Trella had it a draw. Dave Moretti had it for Gennady Golovkin. And yeah, if Adelaide Bird would have given this whole fight to Canelo, to Golovkin, then it would have mattered. But if her score was, as long as she gave the fight to Canelo, even if it was like, 115, 113, or if she had it a draw at 114, 114, it still would have been a draw. The amount of her how wide she scored it didn't make any difference. Oscar is on Fight Hype saying they don't know who sent Charlo's offer to. Don't know who turned it down. It's time we put the fake offer to bed. Yeah, I mean, he never made no offer to that dude, really. But I mean, it's tough to put things to bed once somebody's out there lying about it. Not saying the person that brought it up in this chat was lying about it, just saying that, it's hard to put those things to bed when people are out there lying about stuff. Kovalev isn't a star in America. He ain't a star anywhere, man. Why fight him instead of Charlo in Texas? Because Canelo Alvarez can win the fight easily. That's not difficult. What is that, Stephen Sharp? There's an article I think Blue did, and it says it. Bird scored the 118 to 110. Look, man, there's no scenario in which it doesn't matter. The way the scoring works, if this is what you're talking about. Oh, Desi Bryant, I can't even really hit the gong because my gong is broke. My gong is broke. I gotta get it back up, man. That's the best we can get out of a gong today. Yeah, man. So, yeah, Bird scored at 118, 110, but it doesn't matter because she could have scored at 115, 114, and it still would have been a draw. She could have scored it 117, 111. It still would have been a draw. If she would have scored at 114, 114, it still would have been. What was her scorecard? It was 118, 110. Her score was 118, 110. But that's not how you score a fight. It doesn't. A draw is caused not by the individual score of a fight, of that card. It doesn't matter. Whatever, she is either going to score the fight for Canelo Alvarez. Think about it this way. So the gong, this is the gong. Hold on. This gong is sick. There you go. That's the gong. Boom. But it's on the ground. So anyway, let me explain to you how this works. Each judge is going to either score the fight for a fighter, for one fighter, for the other fighter, or they're going to call it a draw. So Dave Moretti, or what's the guy's name? Adelaide Bird scored it for Canelo. Dave Moretti scored it for Gennady Golovkin. Don Trella scored it a draw. Consequently, the fight is a draw. One person went for Canelo, one went for Gennady Golovkin, and the other was a draw. So that makes the fight a draw. Adelaide Bird's scorecard being 118-110 doesn't matter. She could have scored it anything. But at the end of the day, as long as she scored it for Canelo, that scorecard is in Canelo's, is one scorecard for Canelo, regardless of the score of how she wound up giving Canelo the fight. All that up and down and all that nonsense about how much, how wide the scorecard was, my personal opinion, it was a dumb conversation. Because it doesn't even matter. It doesn't even matter. He said 118-110. Doesn't matter though, dude. He could have been. It doesn't matter. She gave the fight to the dude. Do a church clap. That's a church clap on beat, But isn't that the same rep that scored a draw versus Floyd? No. Adelaide Bird is one, and I think they said C.J. Ross. C.J. Ross is the one that did it. Said, I'm dying. Why are you addressing this? Hey, shit, I'm addressing it because motherfuckers don't know. Sometimes people don't know. Just, hey, man, we here to educate too. Sometimes people don't get how you score, don't understand how you score. And that's what it is. Exactly. Anthony Hernandez said she could have gave it to Canelo by 1 point. That is still in his favor. Yep. How about this? Fannon will clap if y'all like. Hey, man, I ain't buck dancing. Don't try to get me bug jumping around here, dude. Some motherfuckers just don't know, dog. You know what I mean? You'll be surprised when people don't know about boxing and how you score it and all that stuff. Time to Annie up in the building. Much love in that super chat. He says, salute Fannon the Don. If Oscar has sour grapes, as you say, he can bet they have to fight the you can bet they have to fight the spatulas. Oh my God, man. I don't know what the fuck is wrong with Oscar De La Hoya, dude. Like, why, man? Dog, he out there in Vegas, dog. He need to leave Vegas. Oscar don't need to be in Vegas too often, dog. He said, "No, don't tap dance for anybody." Yeah, man, I gotta stop it at the tap dance. Anything that seems too tap dance, just can't rock with it. Oh, that's not about that. That's about some kung fu. But anyway, yeah, man. So hit me with some questions, man. We got a little bit of time. No, James, we do not need balanced dialogue, dog. No, we don't. No, we don't. No, we don't. Let me tell you, James Jones, just so you know this. No, we do not need balanced dialogue. We need people. That's nasty, Kane, the bad guy. Much love, David Williams, in that super chat, man. Thank you so much for your support, man. Appreciate you. Yeah, y'all hit the likes, boy. We got 308 likes, man. Let's get the likes up, man. Let's get the likes up. Yeah, you motherfuckers think we don't need no balance. Yeah, let me get this shit right. John Doe, see, that's why we don't need balanced comments. We need motherfuckers to fuck up out. Because if you don't, we don't care. You need people with common sense. Exactly. You need people with common sense, dude. You motherfuckers will never come through my chat and run through the shit with a bunch of crazy shit. Making people unhappy, insulting people, making the comment section toxic. No. Will not happen, homie. Will not happen. LeBron James. Shakur Stevenson versus Devin Haney. Who you got? I got Devin Haney. Devin Haney's too big for Shakur Stevenson. By the time Shakur Stevenson gets to 135, Devin Haney is going to be at 140 or 147. Too big. Two different sized fighters. The question with Shakur Stevenson is, who do you have? Shakur Stevenson or Oscar Valdez, who ran away from that WBO belt and acting like a fight with Miguel Berchelt is an easier fight than a southpaw Shakur Stevenson. To a slick southpaw Shakur Stevenson. Man, sell somebody else that bullshit. Who's better, Roberto Duran or Canelo Roberto Duran? Roberto Duran. But I do believe Canelo's a great fighter, though. I do. But I would prefer Roberto Duran. And also, I will Cameron Russell, Devin Haney. 51-49. 51-49. But Devin Haney. Because that dude can crack, dude. Where's the balance when we talk about Wilder or any black fighter? Nowhere. Where's the balance when talking? Oh, there is no balance. No. People with all that balance shit is just some old dumb shit like, we just want to be able to come here and annoy people. We want to come in here and argue with people. We want to come in here and shit on people and, no. Get the fuck out, dude. Already proved that you guys that you shouldn't be in here, man. Already proved it. Which is why we keep 350 people, we keep 400 people in the chat. Because they don't have to worry about y'all. Devin would not be able to hit Shakur. Man, that's likewise on that, dog. That's a very tactical fight, but B-Hop, Canelo, B-Hop. Bernard Hopkins. But Devin would not be able to hit Shakur. I don't know. They both fight similar. Both of these, Devin Haney's not just some stalking type of fighter. But he might stalk Shakur Steve, but it's just not worth the conversation, really. Because that's kind of like saying, who's going to win between Errol Spence and David Benavidez? David Benavidez is the WBC 168 pound champ. And actually, no, that's a little bit bigger. So maybe that's kind of like Jermell Charlo and David Benavidez. David Benavidez is the WBC 168 pound champ, and Charlo's the 154 pound champion. But by the time David Benavidez ain't going to be anywhere near 168, by the time if Jermell Charlo ever gets up as high as 168, which I don't think he is. I think that he's going to stay at 154 till he gets the three belts that boxing will allow him to have, because boxing is not going to allow him. Boxing's not going to allow him to have four, because the WBO is just going to tuck away their bullshit, some bullshit hype job at 150 at the WBO 154 pound belt. So don't think he's going to be allowed to have all four, but the three, more than likely, he's going to get his hands on the three that are available for him. And then if Jermell goes to 168, then Jermell will go to then Jermell should be able to go to 160. Because I do think Jermell is going to wind up at 168. But by the time that happens for Jermell, David Benavidez is going to be at 175 or cruiserweight. Because David Benavidez can probably get all the way up to cruiserweight and fight in cruiserweight comfortably. That's a big dude, man. Big dude. But I don't think for nothing some of these fights that we're talking about are just not going to happen. Like Gervonta Davis and Shakur Stevenson is a more realistic fight than Devin Haney. Dark Truth said, Fannon, not to try to overwork with you. Can you do an evening show from time to time? I don't mind doing that, but it's just that we have a lineup, and I don't want to go live at a time where there's another channel that either has that scheduled or where there's smaller channels that that go during that time. Because people show me a lot of respect. Like people in the LDBC don't go on at this time between 11:40 and 1 typically, because that's the time that I go on. I don't go on during the time that Trill Boxing Talk is on, or during the time that like The Truth is on. I don't go on when BFTB or KQKC or 78 go on, Blue Blood goes on. So if there's an evening, like if 78 doesn't go on and I know that he's not going on, some of the time I'll do. Matter of fact, that might be what I do. I'll call 78 and make sure I know the next time that he's not going to go on, and then I can do an evening show to fill in for him. Yeah, provided that like KQKC is not doing it or something. It's just really tough. There's a lot of channels that really are very into doing, like they do primarily live streams, which I do not advise for a boxing channel. Do not advise limiting yourself unless you're like 78, who's got a really big Patreon following and OnlyFans following and all that. So there's plenty of, he has outlets for his content other than YouTube. But if you're strictly YouTube, dude, you should definitely focus on building up your video subscriber base, the amount of subscribers that will watch your videos. Hey, Fannon, what's the latest on Danny Garcia versus Spence? That fight's going to take place. It's just that Errol Spence Jr. was talking about how people are trying to act like they're chasing him and hunting him. But he's like, dude, I'm the hunter. You can't hunt a hunter. And he's out there, so he's acting as if, or sounding as if, he's as hungry to get a shot at Danny Garcia as Danny Garcia is to get at him, which is a great attitude, man. Cameron Russell in the building. He said, my hiatus from boxing ended with EJ debut and Haney as a pup. Happy I found this channel in 2020. Thanks for everything. Salute, Cameron Russell. It is more than my pleasure. Thank you very much for your super chat, dog. Floyd Samuels, can you rank the belts from the most prestigious to the least prestigious? In my opinion, right now, the best belts go IBF, WBA, WBC, WBO. If you would have asked me at the beginning of the year, if you had asked me 2 years ago, I would have said WBC, IBF, WBA, WBO. But because the WBO is a sack of shit. That's just a fucking fake organization. I have no respect for the WBO belt. They might as well be the IBO. I don't even think they should be a major belt. They should get rid of the WBO. But the WBC had, they just had a really bad couple years, man. Terrible couple years of decision making. I mean, to the point where the shit that they're doing is so over the fucking top with like the stuff with the franchise belt, the way they handled, the drug issue related to Alexander Povetkin, the way that they handled the situation with Dillian White and and his D-ball violation, Alejandro Jimenez, the way just the way that they changed moved the levels, the acceptable levels of Combuterol, and the way that it's just so, the WBC has just done such a bad job over the last 2 years that I gotta slide them below the IBF, because the IBF don't fuck around. Straight up, the IBF don't play. When the reason that I think the IBF is the best, 2 reasons: the next day weigh-in, right? The next day weigh-in limitation, and the fact that they are more than willing to strip you if you don't defend against a mandatory, the IBF will snatch your shit. And when they snatched that belt from Canelo, I was like, They stripped Canelo and Gennady Golovkin at 168 pounds. If these other guys acted like the IBF acted, boxing would be in a way better position. So yeah, I like how the IBF runs business, clear rules, and they don't bend for certain people. Exactly. WBC is openly biased. Yeah, the WBC is openly biased. The WBA is just fucking corrupt. Like, they're corrupt as shit, but they have not been doing shit to the level lately of the WBC. And the WBC used to have an advantage over the WBA in that they didn't have the super belt and all that shit. But since they came out with the franchise title and the way they handled that shit at lightweight and the way that they handled that shit at middleweight, get the fuck out of here, dude. So yeah, there you go. That's my thing. So the IBF #1, WBA right now. Just put the WBA and the WBC in the same boat, and then put the WBO last. Because as bad as the WBC has been, they've not been as bad as the WBO. The WBO is like a fucking joke. Like, you know who's going to be the next WBO champ. Like, there's a WBO belt right now at 154 pounds with Teixeira. I am almost willing to put money that the next WBO 154-pound champion will be Terence Crawford. I am almost that sure of that shit. Just like I am almost positive that the next WBO 147-pound champion is going to be either Josh Taylor or Jose Ramirez. That's just how patently obvious the WBO is with what they do. Are they ever going to explain what the franchise championship is? They did explain it, and it's some bullshit. They explained it. Missing the godfather of the WBC, Jose Sulaiman. Yeah, his son Mauricio is a fuck up. Okay, like, he's not a fuck up. He's just obvious with his shit. He's just like the WBO is not as, I mean, they're obvious, but they ain't obvious with the shit that they're saying out of their mouth. They're obvious like with the shit that they do, you know? He said WBO is worse only because they bought a promoter and have no historical significance. At least the WBC has that. I mean, really, the WBC was the start of the decline of the fucking championship belts. They started off because the WBC broke off from the WBA. And they started with an anti-American bent, by the way. Because the reason that the WBC left the WBA is because they thought that there was too much American influence over the championship belts. So, and they didn't believe that fighters outside of the United States were getting, just doing the rankings. So a lot of this shit that you see where the focus is being taken away from American fighters, a lot of that started with the WBC in the early 1960s. Just, FYI, the WBC was founded for the purpose of limiting the influence that American boxers have in boxing. Fannon, where do you rank the WBC belt? Right below what I just put in this fucking in my handkerchief. That's my thought of that shit. I just put everything that I think about Ring Magazine in that rag right there. Is what I think about, is what the fuck I think about the Ring Magazine. I think that they are a PR magazine, and I don't think that they're worth. I only thing that I think is worth shit about Ring Magazine is their cover. Excellent covers. Excellent covers. And some of the writers are very, very good writers, but they're not worth shit because they're owned by Oscar De La Hoya. And they have people that are voting for their, well, I don't know right now who they have voting for their list and all that shit. But man, I think next to nothing about Ring Magazine. I don't read Ring Magazine. Ring Magazine, I never get any news from Ring Magazine that I need. Like, by the time Ring Magazine writes an article, I've already know all the shit. Like, by the time they ever spit one out, shit, hell no. That's funny because the WBC prestige came from Black American fighters. That's what gave them clout. Without Black people, they are nothing. Dude, they don't want to be nothing. They want to be nothing then. But it is what it is, you know? Yeah, that's what it's a propaganda mag. That's my take. But look, man, we got 357 people in the building. We got 336 likes. Much love to everybody in the chat. Thank you guys so much for coming by. Make sure right now you go over to KQKC Boxing. That's coming up next. And with that, I'm going to check you guys out tomorrow morning. Hey, make sure, if you would not mind, leave a message, send me an email or leave a message under the like on the community page or something about what you guys want me to talk about tomorrow. Or if you guys want any special videos made or something like that, let me know, because those are the perks of the members. But I don't know if you guys, the members, really know that that's a perk. But since nobody's asked me, I think it's important that I remind people that that's one of the perks of being a member. So make sure that if you are a member to the channel, like Junior B, make sure you guys get in contact with me and let me know what you want to talk about and the topics you want to cover in the live stream, so that I can take care of that. Okay, I do so much appreciate you guys being members to the channel and supporting me. And so thank you guys very much. Go to KQKC Boxing, who's coming up next. And with that, I'm out. Peace.